Hello, I'm your professor, Dr. Stephen Haggard, and today I would like to do a follow-up to a video I did recently about an article in the Wall Street Journal and about how Amazon is providing an opportunity for small businesses to get into the delivery business. And the name of that program is called Amazon Delivery Service Partner. Now the interesting thing to me was I wrote this I talked about it from a corporate finance perspective because I'm a corporate finance professor. So I was looking at it from Amazon's perspective, but strangely enough, most people that watch the video seem to be more interested in it from an entrepreneur's perspective, someone being interested in starting this sort of business versus some of the other things you can do on Amazon to make money. And so the first comment that I got was, wouldn't Amazon Flex have a higher return on investment than Amazon Delivery Service Partner? Now let's talk about what Flex is first. Basically, Flex, from my understanding, allows you to use your own vehicle to deliver packages for Amazon, and you can make between $18 and $25 per hour, and you can have flexible hours. Now that sounds a whole lot like Uber, only instead of hauling people around, you're hauling packages around, which actually I would prefer because packages never throw up in your car. Now, what's great about Amazon Flex and who would be great for this? People who want to pick up some side income, perhaps students, retirees, mothers whose children have go off to school during the day, things like this would be people who might be interested in that. Basically the same people who might be interested in doing Uber. But you are never going to get rich doing Amazon Flex because you are totally dependent on your own labor for the productivity, because you're not going to have employees working for you that you could multiply or leverage your skills in that area. And so, yes, the investment is low. Basically, you're looking at the opportunity cost of your car and, of course, the cost of your time. But, you're going to have a limited ability to make money as an Amazon Flex person. So I would not think of doing Amazon Flex as being a small business. Now, Amazon Delivery Service, on the other hand, delivery service partner, they're going to, for a startup cost of roughly around $10,000, they'll help you get started, and they will lease you trucks, and you're looking at 20 to 40 trucks. And so now you're going to have the ability to leverage or multiply your talents across employees to whom you will pay a fixed wage, and then your profit will depend on how well you manage that operation. Now the really cool thing is that Amazon's basically setting up a turnkey kind of operation here. They'll lease you the trucks, they give you the IT infrastructure. Basically all you have to do is hire the people and manage them and make sure that the job gets done. And how profitable that is depends on how well you manage things. And so it would be a good opportunity for someone who wanted a full-time opportunity, has skills at managing people, and is a good organizer, those sorts of things. Doesn't require a huge amount of capital up front. In fact, Amazon is willing to refund qualifying U.S. veterans the $10,000, up to $10,000 if they want to try to start one of these businesses. So if you're a veteran, you could do this for very little cost up front. And along the way, someone else made the comment, well, can I just get rich selling stuff on Amazon? And the answer is yes, you can. But there's some things you need to know about selling on Amazon. First of all, Amazon is in the business of letting other people sell on its website so Amazon can make money. In order to do that, it means Amazon is going to take a percentage of your sales. And there are all sorts of complex formulas and schemes and different options and this, that, and the other. But it really boils down to this. You're looking at between 15 and 45% of the product cost plus shipping going to Amazon. I have a buddy who sells on Amazon, and the number that he throws around is 35%. Now, what does that mean? You say, well, that's not a problem. I'll sell something for $1. I get to keep 65 cents. How much did you have to pay for that thing? In other words, we have to figure out a product that has a high enough profit margin that even after we pay Amazon their percentage, we are still making money. And that's not as easy to do as you might think. Next, we need to figure out a product people actually are willing to buy online. So we need to find something with a high profit margin that people are willing to buy online. There are a lot of things that I'm willing to buy online, but fresh fruit, fresh meat are things that I'm not willing to buy because I want to look at these things in person before they show up at my door. And so you've got to find out stuff that people are willing to buy online. People are willing to wait 2 days in order to get it, things like that. But that's not enough, because even if you figure out stuff with high profit margin that people are willing to buy online and wait for, if you find something that everybody else can replicate, sooner or later someone else is going to start selling the same thing for slightly less. And then someone else will come in and sell it for even slightly less than that. I'll give you an example. My wife and I enjoy these cookies called Viennese Whirls. They're made by a British baking company. And of course you can't get them here in the US. You can buy them on Amazon though. It used to be there was only one company that really sold them here, and they charge like $12 a box for these things. It's ridiculously expensive, but you know, if you want these things over here, it's cheaper than an airline ticket. Anyway, so when there was only one company, these things sold for like $12 a box. Well, before long, other people figured this out and started to join in. Now there are about 6 companies that will sell this item online on Amazon, and you can get them for $6 a box. Now, if you were to buy them off the shelf in the UK, probably get them for around $2 a box. So the profit margin's there. It's an item that people are willing to buy online and wait for, but it's something that basically everybody can do, or at least everybody in Britain can get into this business. And so when you have a product like that, it doesn't take long until competition drives the price down until the profit is pretty close to zero on these things. That's the way markets like that work. You get down to the market rate of return and you're not going to get any more. So what do you do? Well, you want to find items that basically you can get your hands on, but other people can't. So for example, you might think, aha, I could do handicrafts. I'm the only person in the world that could make this whatever it is that I make. Now you're kind of back to the Amazon Flex problem in that you are totally dependent on your own labor for your productivity. You're not magnifying through the labor of others. And so you could find yourself in the situation where you had given yourself a really great minimum wage job. And so let's think of another thing. What if you have the opportunity to travel to places that other people don't have the opportunity to travel to, and you have the opportunity to see things that might be of interest, and then purchase those items or set up a relationship with a supplier? And this is exactly what my buddy does that sells on Amazon. We both go to China, and so I was in China with him, and we went through this great big market, and there was an entire floor just dedicated to office supplies. And we spent an hour or 2 hours just going through and looking at every single multicolored ballpoint pen, you know, the ones with the multiple clickers on the top. And we would look at them, we would test the action. If they had a little paper there, we would write with them. Basically, he is doing this merchant role where he is identifying good quality goods from poor quality goods. And then he is going to try to negotiate with these people to get the best price that he can, set up some sort of supplier relationship. He also, though, has to have a feeling for how much he could sell that thing for on Amazon, or he might get home with a bunch of stuff that he can't sell at a profit, and he might have to take a huge loss. He has also gone one beyond that. He says that the best way to make money on Amazon is to sell things as a kit. Don't just sell a pen. Don't just sell a diary. Sell a pen together in a diary in a nice little box with some tissue paper and things like that. People are willing to pay more for things like that. You can get a higher profit margin, plus it's more likely that your product will be unique amongst the offerings on Amazon, and you'll be able to charge your full price, and you won't have to worry about it being degraded over time. Let's talk about these three Amazon analogies or opportunities with an analogy to the California gold rush. I look at the people who sell on Amazon as being like gold miners. They've got a certain investment. Of course, you've got your mule, your pack, your pick, your pan, things like that. But their payoffs are hugely uncertain. They could go broke. They could possibly not ever find a single flake of gold. Or they could hit the mother lode. And so you've got huge volatility of potential rewards, but you've got some definite certain investments along the way. And then you've got your Amazon Flex people. And the Amazon Flex people remind me of some of the Chinese immigrants in California at the time decided that it was better to do the laundry for the miners than to mine for themselves, because on average they could make more money. They made more money than the average miner, but more importantly, that money was quite stable. And so they were had a lot less volatile income than the miners. Now, they were still limited to, their productivity was limited to their labor, because basically, oh, and by the way, they also had very low investment, because all they had to have was a stick, a bucket, fresh water, and some soap. Does that make sense? You beat the clothes out on the rocks down by the river, and so you've got low investment, you got fairly steady income, you're making better than average wages, and so these folks found happiness doing that. And then there were a third group of people who came out to the gold mining areas not intending to mine at all, but intending instead to make their money by selling things to the miners. Remember all those things we said that miners had to have to do gold mining? They bought them somewhere. And one of those individuals was named Levi Strauss. And Levi Strauss went out to California with a bunch of denim, hoping to make tents for miners. But when he got there, he found that the need wasn't necessarily for tents. The need was for work pants that wouldn't wear out as quickly as the pants the miners had been wearing. And thus blue jeans were born. Now, Levi Strauss hired folks to sew these jeans, so he's multiplying his productivity through the labor of others, and he got rich doing so. And this, to me, is more like being the Amazon delivery service partner. Except for Levi Strauss had to develop all this groundwork and take a huge risk here. You don't necessarily have to do that, because Amazon's already basically set up the business for you. All you have to do is go out and find and manage employees well. And that's something, of course, that Levi Strauss had to do, but he also had to develop the product and the processes. Of course, he didn't have a computer system, but Amazon has already developed the product, the processes, and the IT infrastructure for this. And so you're actually in pretty good shape with this Amazon delivery service partner thing if you are a good manager and you want to be able to multiply your productivity through the labor of others. Now, I've included a link to my previous video on this topic below, and feel free to take a look at that. If you like this video, please hit the like, feel free to subscribe, and if you want to be notified when I put out a new video, just click on that little bell. And if you have further topics that you would like me to talk about, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.